I hope the sound is good.
Sound is overrated.
Anyway, we're going to get a lot done.
I know it was dumb. Anyway,
We are though. Thanks, Papa Joe.
thanks, Papa Joe. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot, brother. What's going on with you?
Not a shit, dude. This episode 28 of America Through a Ross Glass, dude. We missed last week though. My dog got sick, man. He had a backache, so we had to go doggy 911 and take him to the emergency vet for a backache. Apparently,
Bukkake. He had a dog bukkake last week.
It was gross. God, I can't even keep that one going. Like I'll take it as far as we could take it.
No.
I can't do that.
That'd be a sticky situation for sure.
Oh.
Anyway, what's going on, brother? How's life? How's the dog? By the way, I didn't even ask. I'm just
the dog's just fine.
Okay, good.
He's back there.
Everyone calm down. The dog is fine.
The dog's fine. He just hurt his back apparently, so we're good.
Back carrying this show so far.
Exactly. We needed something. the mascot down.
Mascot down. Oh man. What I guess couple of weeks, but what a week. Man, I've been working like crazy, so my finger really hasn't been on the pulse. Only my own, just to check, make sure I'm still alive.
I mean, yeah, everything that's happened is just the same shit. Getting more and more into guns right now and gun control and what we're gonna do, and every other day there's a new shooting again. It's shooting season again. So
again, we kind of talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. It's like I wonder if it was always shooting season. We just were so enthralled with Trump's crazy ass tweets that we just didn't think about it. We just didn't talk about it. It's like what's more interesting, shooting number 2093 or Trump calling someone an asshole?
Yeah. I mean, there was another one this morning. I think it was in Atlanta. I might be wrong on where it was.
Yeah, it was a kid killed another kid. And then or something.
Yeah, at the mall or something.
Yeah, at the mall.
Or an apartment complex.
The guy and his brother or something.
It's getting fucking outrageous. And a 13-year-old kid got killed by the police last week too. It's just.
Well, he shouldn't have been near a police officer.
Oh damn, it's fucked up. But I mean, the kid had a gun, and watching the video, there's really nothing you could do. It was going to happen. It sucks for everybody involved in that one. But I mean, why the fuck does a 13-year-old kid have a gun? That's my fucking problem.
Well, didn't Rittenhouse have a gun? Didn't he shoot a bunch of people?
Well, he was 16, and he shouldn't have been there with a gun either.
You're good. Shoot as many people as you want when you turn 16. It's like a driver's license.
You're definitely not. You're not going to get me to defend that guy.
It sounds like you already are.
No, there's no reason he should have been there at all with a gun. At all, period.
Oh shit.
I mean, it should just be if you're not old enough to buy a gun, then you shouldn't have one in public. Period.
Yeah, I agree with that. You shouldn't have one in public if you're under the age of 25 or whatever. Anyway, isn't it 25 when your brain finally develops completely? So why?
I don't know. I'm not there yet, man. I'm fucking 35, so I got a little.
And glasses all you want, but you're still dumb.
I got a little. I know I had to smarten up a little bit. I'm like, hey, I'll put glasses on. We're talking about guns. I got to look smart.
I like that, and you got that. What can only be guessed as some sort of sex thing on your back.
My back.
See the little thing be over your right shoulder.
Oh, the little picture back there?
No, not the picture. The little sex mannequin you have 2 shelves down.
Oh, that's my daughter. She's got it for her birthday. It's a little Barbie thing with nails. You can do the hair, whatever. Yeah, it's my sex doll. Sorry, guys. I can't talk my way out of this one. That's definitely what it is.
Oh shit. Oh man. So hey, speaking of awkward sex things, what about pulling out of Afghanistan? How do you feel about that?
Oh, that was a really gross one too. Actually, I want to know how you felt about that because you were there and you fought.
Nah.
And I was kind of want
It
to
was
see how
a
you
big
felt about, because nothing's changed. It's the same as it was then. And now we're just going to finally leave 30 years later.
Yeah, well, 2020, I think. Well, 20 officially, right? 20 official. This is 2001. Wasn't the official start date?
Yeah, probably.
Didn't I think Bush Jr. was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to war or something." Like someone blew up our ship, we're going to war.
He just had a dart and he threw it. He's like, Afghanistan got it.
Picking
Okay.
a stand. There's a stand. Fuck that
Yeah,
one.
pick a stand. Fuck that stand.
No. So yeah, we talked about when Obama got in office and he was talking about winding down the troops and and slowly de-escalating things over there. I felt a different way than I do now. So like then I was like, it kind of feels like it's all for naught, right? It's like we went over there and we killed a bunch of people and we had a bunch of people die and for what, right? Killed some higher ups and some bullshit terrorist organization, whatever. And it was like, okay, we didn't really accomplish anything, but at least we were over there, swinging bats and breaking faces.
I mean, we're definitely batting zero for like insurgency wars. We can't fight an insurgency. I mean, we're not.
Well, yeah. So now we're talking 20 something years later or whatever. It's like, at what point do you just have to cut your losses and be like, hey, it's time to just go home, man.
You're either gonna hunt every single guy living in a cave, or you're gonna leave.
Yeah, you just gotta build a wall around the whole fucking country.
Around every cave, every mountain to get its own wall.
Yeah, just fill it. Just pump in the ocean. Just fill it all up with water. But no, like there's no way to win this war because there's no real war, right? It's you're chasing ghosts. And that's how it was when I was there. You're just chasing ghosts. You're trying to be a security presence, but unless you're going to dump, 25% of our population into that country, you can't police them all. You just can't. Yeah. It's too much.
Well, that's felt like what it's been for 15 years. We're just trying to police it, and we're always training Afghan forces. We're always doing this. We're always got consultants on the ground, but it never fucking goes anywhere. And we're just there and there and there and there's some more.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like there's no real end game here. I mean, you can say that we're doing the right thing, and maybe we are, but the end result is always going to be the same as it was with Russia, same as it was with fucking Alexander the Great. We're just going to go in and fuck off and then leave, and then go back to the way it was. So, I hate to say it, but hey, man, I'm down with it. Let's pull these guys out and let them go home.
Yeah. I'm the same way with Iraq. I'm the same way with Syria. Let's get our people the fuck out. They don't need to be there.
Hey, at least with the Iraqi war and the Syrian war, at least we're fighting a uniformed force, right? With the Iraqis, we're fighting them. With the Afghanis, we're fighting Pakistanis, Iraqis, Syria. Like we're fighting everybody.
French people, people coming from America. You're fighting Americans. That Johnny Walker guy.
We're fighting any mercenary force that wants to come in with a gun and down with America. Like it's that. Don't use that as a clip, by the way.
Down with America.
Oh, good. We're both on it. All right, now. We're both
okay. Yeah, exactly.
Look at you, Ray. I know how you are. Anyway,
we'll be Rail House on TikTok tomorrow. Down with America.
I know. Listen to this motherfucker. He's on there screaming "Down with America." No, yeah. So it's just one of those things where I hate to say it. I know I'm probably boiling some of my veteran friends' blood when I say this, but let's get these boys and girls home. It's time. It's time to come home. We got to amp up for another war. What
gains are we defending? Like, why are we still? What are we doing to be there still? I mean, we're just meandering about shooting guns.
I gotta tell you, I mean,
like, come home and do that.
There, this was 2004, 5. I'm sorry, 2005, 6, and 7. I was there, and we were the farthest northern easternest force that the United States has ever pushed. We were like in no man's land kind of territory. The mountains, it's like it is here in Colorado. It was just tens of thousands of feet in the air. Like it's just crazy mountain crags. And then to the south, we also fought in the desert. So it's like a multiple kind of environment kind of situation. But
yeah,
we were focused on pushing north. And honestly, we were just running into these small villages, like, 40, 50 people, 60, maybe 100, couple hundred people, whatever. But it was like they didn't give a fuck about us. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, here comes the Americans. Eye roll, We're not
Yeah.
going to tell them where the bad guys are because the bad guys will fucking kill us. So the Americans at least won't kill us, so fuck it. Yeah, we didn't do anything. We begged for info, for intel, for like the higher ups, gave them money and food and jobs and what we thought would grease the wheels. And honestly, it did a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, we caught some bad guys, and yeah, we definitely threw some wrenches into some gears. But I mean, here we are 20 years later, and we're still there. So
Yeah.
Still
doing the same shit. Nothing's happened there since Trump dropped that bomb, that mother of all bombs or whatever, for no reason. He's like, here's a bomb in the desert. Boom.
Yeah, we dropped bombs over there too. Before I showed up, like a week before I showed up there, I guess we dropped a 2,000 pound JDAM, I guess like 1,000 feet from like our whole fucking like platoon drop. He's like, danger close. And drop a 2,000 pound bomb.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was. I heard the stories when I got there. I was like, holy shit, this place is crazy.
Oh, that's great. Something to look forward to, having a bomb land on you.
It was wild, man. I mean, they did it on purpose. They were like, hey, we're surrounded. Drop bombs.
Nice.
So, yeah, wow. But anyway, yeah, I mean, as far as if you want my opinion, I mean, hey guys, what do you guys think? We got some viewers. What do you think about the Afghani war? Do you think we should keep our guys there as a security presence, or do you think that we should pull out and go on about our merry way, get these people home?
I think pulling out is always a good policy. So I would say
it works really great for you and your 36 kids.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible at it, but it's still a good policy. It's not bad just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean it's not a good idea. Fuckface.
I'm bad at it. I'm a civilian and I've watched Team America, so I know a little bit about war. You know everything there is to know about the war over there.
Yeah.
We show up, we destroy everything, and we thank them. I think we ask them to thank us afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
You are going to say thank you?
All your shit up and then say thank you.
You're welcome, Afghanistan. America out.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys got oil? No, we're back. We're back.
Okay, we're back. You found oil. We're coming. We're coming.
We're back.
They found Bitcoin buried in the ground. We're definitely coming back for Bitcoin.
If they found Bitcoin, I'd be over there myself. Anyway.
I mean, it's a good point, Jerry. Could something happen in Iraq, but it's going to be anyway. Honestly, I'd rather just have it be a terrorist training ground and give us a target to bomb.
I don't see the problem with terrorists is that you're talking about guerrilla fighters, guerrilla warfare, and it works. Guerrilla warfare works. Especially against a large organized army like ours.
With rules of engagement.
Shit works. Look at, every war from here all the way back, the guerrillas do more damage unless the large organized army decides to go fucking Glass City and just destroy everything.
Vietnam.
Like Russia did in World War II. They just backed up and burned everything. Come on, we'll burn everything to the fucking ground. And they don't even care. And Russia, and mind you, Russia being the other large, at the time, the largest, military in the world besides ours, they invaded Afghanistan as well. And
didn't do it.
They are. They ain't speaking.
Some places you just don't invade. Like, Vietnam didn't work out for it. It was really bad for everybody involved.
Yeah. It's just some places that you just have to cut your losses. And I think Afghanistan is one of those. Iraq, on the other hand, I think we won the war over there as much as you can say we won. But Afghanistan, I just don't think that's going to happen. We'll never pull a Bush Jr. and unfurl a flag that says mission accomplished.
And then lose it.
It's not going to happen, man. Sorry.
Listen, we need to get fucking Biden on a little sailboat with a little sign, mission accomplished.
Listen, I hate to say this, and I know a lot of you guys that are watching right now, and I'm looking at everybody on the comments. I know exactly who's going to call me an asshole here, but
you're an asshole.
I think given the opportunity, Biden will go holy Holocaust on Afghanistan harder than Trump ever would have.
You think so?
The opportunity. Yes.
Why?
There's first off, he understands what it is to have soldiers in in the field, because his sons were soldiers. So he understands the loss of life. So instead of sending troops in, I do believe he will just bomb the absolute shit out of Afghanistan before he sends troops in. While Trump definitely sent a Scud missile across the water to blow up Syria, it was more of a, oh, cool, I'm president, I get to blow shit up. Let's blow shit up real quick. Oh, that was stupid. I'm done with that now. Where Biden, I think, is like, you know what? I'm going to drive this one home.
Man, I don't know why.
Warmonger, and I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that I think he respects GIs more than our last president did, and more than Obama did. Because I think he has something tied. When you have a family member who's a service member, it's a different feeling. It's different. It's like you care more about gay rights if your daughter is gay. You have you have an investment into it. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, everything we seem to talk about the last few weeks goes back to Starship Troopers, but it does feel like our military should be going to bomb everything first and then send guys in after. Like, why are we having ground fights? Why are we fighting boots on the ground? We don't need to.
It is a proven military fact through millennia. You cannot occupy anything without boots on the ground. You can't win a war.
Yeah, but you can kill everybody first.
Grunts, you can't win a war. You can, like I say that to my girlfriend, my fiance, all the time. You know what? Maybe they deserve it. Trumpet-loving bastards.
Those fucking neutral bastards.
You fucking Swiss.
Pick a fucking side, goddammit.
Bitches. I'm gonna sink your marshmallows. No, you know what? Hey, Alzheimer Biden, maybe he'll bomb Afghanistan, forget he bombed Afghanistan, and bomb Afghanistan again.
That's something.
So there you go. No, but I get the idea of putting troops there. And I understand for like the last 20 years why we've had troops there, because you don't want to. This is how I felt when Obama was scaling down. It feels like a waste of life. All, my friends, my brothers in arms who passed away over there, feels like for naught. But at what point do you go, okay, what are we gaining here?
Yeah.
At what point are you like, okay, this is ridiculous now? You know what I mean? Listen, I will go to war at a drop of a hat if the cause is right. This is a volunteer army. I didn't get drafted. But you gotta
give me a reason.
Gotta wonder where the line is.
Yeah, well, it seems like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it got to a point where we're not getting anywhere, but no one wanted to take the political hit to leave. Like you said, it's the idea of the waste of life. The people have been there and fought for nothing, and now we're leaving and accomplished nothing. It just got to a point where it was too costly for anyone to pull people out. So I'm glad someone's going to fucking do it. Trump said he was going to do it. He didn't do it either. So,
Jared, what do you think here? I don't think he has a firm grasp, that firm of a grasp on life. I firmly believe that he would secure the safety of the people he likes, then send the rest his father. Like who? Like, who do you mean by the people he likes? Like he would secure
like Kamala, the dog. The dog.
First off, the fucking dogs are amazing, and I will slap you in the face. His dog is amazing.
I like that he bites people. I like that.
Out of all the dogs so far that's been in the White House, Biden's dogs are the best. And I get my little bias because I'm a German Shepherd owner myself. But it's like those dogs are awesome. Trump's dogs were cool too, except that Don Jr. and Eric.
Those are the names of the dogs.
Yeah, what was Trump's dog's name?
I don't think Trump had dogs, did he? I think he was like a
Don
no
Jr.
animal,
and Eric,
no
they were
pets.
just ugly as sin. It was like a pug and a Shih Tzu.
They sent Don away because he bit somebody.
What's up with his fucking beard? Jesus Christ.
Well, he went the Ted Cruz route. He had to butch up a little bit.
Ted Cruz tried to look like a fucking 2-bit Wolverine.
You should have put the little silver bracers on his knuckles.
His children, Jared, I get you, but his children, it's not like, you know, they deployed, you know, they, you know, it's not like he was whatever, not deploying or they weren't deploying. I mean, he came home with drug issues due to like his deployments and stuff. And let me tell you, you can make fun of that all you want, but you're a fucking asshole. I'm sorry. You make fun of drug addiction due to PTSD from war, then you're an asshole.
All right.
But that's just me.
That's just you. Moving
Anyway,
on.
Trump didn't have canines. Yeah, he did. They're like right here, right?
Eric and Don. Hey, what are you drinking tonight, man? We didn't get there.
Oh, I'm drinking a little mix. I'm drinking. So as you know, I'm off the stuff still, off of soda pop, if you will.
Pop.
But I did find a sugar-free replacement, which is really awesome. It's a Rockstar. It's sugar-free Rockstar Zero and Sailor Jerry.
Nice.
And this Rockstar, this particular one tastes like Squirt with caffeine in it. So it's fantastic. Nice. Yeah. So this is like, you know, I maybe one a week, you know, Friday, Saturday, something like that. I know it's Sunday, but
nice.
I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting.
I gotta go to Buffalo Trace again.
Nice. Yeah. I do enjoy Buffalo Trace. But yeah. So
let's get off the foreign shit, man. We got a lot going on over here. What were you asking?
Fucking foreigners.
Fucking foreigners.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's go domestic. With the rise in shootings, and this goes hold on, let me read this real quick, because this, you know, we're about a 5-minute lag from when they can comment on what we're talking about right now. So I can call Jared an asshole right now and he won't hear it for 5 minutes.
Cool. Jared's a good dude though.
No, I know, I'm just playing around. Yeah, my brother says he's got PTSD and he never left the fob, and he was a clerk that rolled around on a gator. Listen, not everybody is telling the truth. And I hate to be the one that bursts the bubble, but some people do.
Are fucking liars.
It's called lying, and some people do it.
Well, aren't you incentivized to lie about it in the VA anyway? To lie about whatever you can possibly get to get your money at the end of it?
Yeah. And that being said, it doesn't always work. Like, no, I don't have a percentage. For those of you who don't know, I'm a disabled veteran, but I don't have a percentage for PTSD or hearing loss or like a traumatic brain injury, a TBI. I don't have a percentage for any of those things, those are very real things for me. It's not lying at all. It's just the VA is so absolutely bass backwards that, you know, you have to like shotgun blast disabilities and hope something will stick.
Yeah.
Like a gunshot wound, obviously you can't fake that. But, you know, things like PTSD, you can absolutely fake. So they're very strict on it. And that's why I never got a percentage for it. They're like, yeah, we know you watch people burn to death, but I mean, was it that bad?
Like, are you sure you're not being a little bitch about it? Come on, man.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not just crying?
Little fucking baby back bitch, their PTSD. Shut the fuck up.
Look at DJ. Mr.
I know.
Waka.
Man, look, he only comments when I change my hat or put on glasses. That's the only time I hear.
Put it on. He's probably watching Crunchyroll right now. He's just got us like wedged under his butt cheek.
He caught the glare off my glasses.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I vibrated your butt for you.
All right, man. So you brought up shootings and riots.
Oh yeah. So let's
shooting and riot season again.
Yeah, it's right. It's riot season. Let's go back to domestic. How do you feel about upping? I'm not even going to talk about Biden's gun laws. I'm just going to talk about gun laws in general, right? Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My brother is just a pansy and got shook because a mortar round landed on the opposite side of the FOB. I can call him a pansy because I know him, and I was infantry, so everyone is a pansy. Well taken, Jared.
That's not exactly true. I mean,
pretty close.
Yeah, no, I lied. That's everyone's just not infantry is a piece of shit. I was also 11 bang bang, so I definitely understand there, Jared. So, But anyway, let's go back. I hear you. Okay. But some people take things differently, right? You know, like a mortar that hits at the other side of the fob is like scary to him, but not so much to like you or I. It's not, I get it. I get what you're saying. But let's bypass. Let's go back to domestic. So what do you think? What's the answer here for gun laws? Not like what's the answer? Let's just put armed veterans in every supermarket, preschool, gas station, mall, whatever. What's the real gun law solution that will maybe lower? There's no way to end all mass shootings, but to, you know, lower the percentage. Hopefully, I don't know. What do you think?
Man,
This, I know it's putting it to you because I know you're not a big gun law kind of guy, but there.
no, actually, believe it or not, I am. I own guns. I carry a gun.
Right.
I got my CPO. I carry a gun pretty much everywhere I go. But I'm also very pro. I don't want a piece of shit to have a gun. I don't want a criminal to have a gun. I don't want someone that's even crazy to have a gun. So I'm pro gun control in that stance, but it's just a matter of how to get there and what to do. And I have no idea. I think you just need to shoot for what's gonna not put a gun in the hands of a 13-year-old kid or someone that, you know, is on the verge of a nervous breakdown and it's gonna climb into a fucking hotel room and shoot a crowd of people.
Let me ask you: do we know if that kid, how he obtained that pistol?
No, they're not going to put any of that kind of shit in the media.
That's what I'm saying. Because when we were kids, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was shooting when I was like 7. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a pistol, but you know, I'd go out with my dad and we'd shoot 22s and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were guns in my house, and if I, you know, this was a different time, of course, but he kept them locked in a locker. But shit, I mean, there was times where I would go. And man, I remember, you know, he would get kit guns. You could buy them in the mail through magazines, and they come in a box, and you build them, and it was like a little 6-shooter. And it was like a cowboy. I'd run around the house when my parents weren't home with a little 6-shooter, and like, pew, pew, you know, it was empty, obviously.
Yeah.
But I had a gun, and I was like 10, you know, whatever, 11. And I wonder if that kid just got his uncle's gun or his whatever, you know, and
it could have been that, or it could have got it from a friend, or it could have got it from whatever. But the fact that it got to him is a problem. You know, one of the gun control things people talk about a lot is making sure your guns are locked up, put away, they're not accessible. And
yeah, I'm not it was a different time back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, definitely. And, you know, my dad had guns too. And, you know, I shot guns when I was little. And, you know, my dad sat us down, and when he did it, he had his 38 special, and then he had a toy gun. And he handed us his 38, like, hey, look, this is a real gun. This will hurt somebody. If you point this at somebody, it's going to kill them. This is a fake gun. I want you to know the difference. You know what I mean? I want you to know what's a toy and what's real. And I don't think that's happening anymore. I think people are afraid their kids are going to go to school and be like, hey, my dad has a gun. And then all of a sudden, all hell's going to break loose. You know, people are afraid that they're going to come for their guns, or their kid even mentions them having a gun at school. Just with the climate we're in now. So I don't think people are talking to their kids about guns anymore or exposing them to guns. You know, I think that's a problem. I really do. I think kids should be exposed to them. But as far as this kid that got shot, no, man, I have no idea. But, you know, they were shooting the guns off outside. So I think if he had a gun, I think it's clearly on the parents. I mean, you can't really.
That's the question right here. It's like this one, you know. So, oh, excuse me, not that one. This one here. 21-year-old ex-con, where were the kids' parents? I mean, at home, I'm assuming. You know, I don't know, obviously, but anyone who has kids know that their kids do go out by themselves, and you can't always know what your kids are doing as a parent. You know, I'm not saying that it was correct. Obviously, the kids were in the wrong if they were outside shooting guns, you know, in public. But you know, I can't really blame it on the parents.
I have a hard time not, man. I mean, I think until your kids are not your kids anymore, when they fuck up, you know, it's a reflection of how you raise them and who you taught them to be. You know, if they go out and, you know, rob a bank when they're fucking 19 and 18, whatever, you know, that you didn't teach them good enough as far as I'm concerned.
And at what stage is it a kid or an adult?
When they are able to function on their own, there's not an age thing. I don't think at 21 years old makes you an adult.
So you're saying
or a teen.
your oldest kid right now is an adult?
No, I didn't say that. Why
Well,
would
he
I say that?
got a job. If they're out shooting a gun, be what? Your fault?
If what? If my kid went out and shot a gun? If he got the gun from me, well, if he got the gun from my house, like you brought up, did he get the
What
parents
if he
gun
did
from
get the
his
gun
uncle?
from your house?
Well, then I don't fucking know what he does.
Well, where's the parents?
But when I said that, it was more towards if he got the gun from his house, if he got a gun from his mom's fucking
Well, that's what I'm
underwear
saying.
drawer.
Like we were kids one time many years ago. We were also kids. And I definitely went behind my parents' backs and did stupid stuff, and then you can't hold the parents responsible all the time. Again, if it was his dad's gun, he left it sit on the coffee table next to a bottle of pills and some cocaine, then maybe it's the dad's fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's as a parent, it's hard to not judge a parent when something fucked up happens. And you're right, because I don't know what my kid's doing all the time. So for me to be like, well, where the fuck are the parents? Because I know, I'd beat my kid's ass for some shit like that. Where are the parents? It's an easy one to jump to, but you're right. It's not the right one to jump to. What else was going on that this kid had a gun and thought he should go out shooting in the middle of the night, thought he should run from the police, and got himself killed. I mean,
it's tragic.
It's
I
tragic.
feel like we're bringing some light to, we're lightening up a very tragic story. That being said, there's got to be more to it than, it's the parents' fault. There's just got to be more to it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, that's where I'm at with gun control and gun laws and the things we could do or might do to change it. But it's so hard because you get groups of people. So on the right, you get the come and take it group, and then you have the group that's like, oh my God, they're coming for my guns.
They're both eye roll groups. The no one should have a gun group are stupid.
Yeah.
And the Biden's going to come to my house and take my gun is stupid.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
In one hand, you're like, Biden's so old and decrepit, he can't walk a flight of stairs, but he's going to come to your house and take your gun. It's like, come on, dude. I'm sorry. I think there should be common sense gun laws, and I know we have a pretty right leaning audience tonight, but I think Obama was on the right track with gun laws.
I think that anything you do as far as gun laws need to be reasonable. And, what happens is you have, Biden who marches people like Beto Workout, who makes him as like guns are for the campaign. And, he said, I'm coming for your guns. We're taking your guns, mandatory buybacks, everything else. So in response, as soon as anyone announces a gun control law, you got other governors in other states that go, okay, open carry. We're going to sign constitutional carry. So as long as you have a gun, you can carry it wherever you go. No, we're not back. We're not doing anything. It's open carry. It's constitutional. So as soon as, one person does one thing, the other side goes fucking crazy as extreme as they can go. And it's the same thing because if the Republicans were in power and they said, okay, open carry for everybody, every Democrat state would try to lock it down. And it gets to a point where there's no compromise. There's nothing in the middle, and you can't have common sense laws anymore. It has to be all one way or all the other.
Right.
And it's getting really fucking old, really fucking quick because nothing's
that's
happening.
Everything in this fucking world right now. It is everything is political in this country. Yeah. There's no reason why the coronavirus should be political.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. And why is it political?
Or even vaccines.
The same with gun laws. It shouldn't be political.
No.
It's not political. We're trying to save lives. That's period. So let's come together and figure this shit out. We don't need to take away all the guns, but we don't need to give everyone a fucking gun either. There's got to be somewhere in the middle, And it's just like,
Well, we could start here. So, magazine restrictions. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we should. I think that we need to do more to keep guns out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them. As far as restricting what people already have, I don't know.
So wait, Jared, you're saying that people do need a 30-round mag to hunt? You need to go to the range more.
No, that's one of those
If
fucking.
you need a 30-round magazine to hit a deer, you are terrible at hitting your target.
No, I mean, listen, the ARs are not for hunting, and anybody who tells you that they bought an
That's who
AR
you're
for
hunting.
hunting is who. But anyone that tells you their AR is for hunting is bullshit. I mean, when I was looking at them, I looked at Springfield, one of the manufacturers, and one thing that I liked about that manufacturer is they didn't come out and say it's a sporting rifle, it's a rifle for this, it's a rifle for that. They came out and said, hey, this is to protect yourself in case all hell breaks loose. At least it was honest, and it wasn't like, oh, this is the best thing to shoot a deer, because it's not. It's not a sporting rifle. It's not a hunting rifle. You buy an AR to kill people if you have to. That's what
it's a back-mounted Gatling gun
with the pedals.
For hunting pheasant. I'm on a unicycle.
Oh, I believe you might hunt deer with your AR, but it's not a tradition.
I'm sure you can. You can hunt deer with a fucking slingshot. But there's underkill.
It's not designed to hunt. It's not designed to hunt deer.
What if we went door to door? We mobilized the National Guard, went door to door, took every type of pistol and rifle away that wasn't either a revolver or bolt action, and just let everyone have whatever they wanted. You can have as many guns you want as long as they're bolt action.
There'd still be mass shootings.
It would be a lot longer.
It'd take longer. Well, no, I mean, they'd probably have better aim. It's the same thing as making the one bullet $1,000. You're gonna have better aim. You're not putting one into the wall.
You shoot a guy and miss, and you're chasing down the round. You're like, I'm sure it hit around here somewhere. I'm digging that bitch out. I'll repack it. I don't care. It's $1,000 right there.
But I mean, the gun laws have to go back ultimately to let's prevent people who shouldn't have them from having them. And, one thing Biden brought up during his little, press conference was red flag laws. And that's a big thing that people have problems with right now. And it's a hard one to get behind. It's a hard one to be against too, because, I don't want someone that's having those emotional issues, especially if their parents, the family sees it, to have a gun. I'm not against go in there and remove the guns from the situation temporarily, but there's nothing in there that requires like mental health screening or anything after the fact. No way to get them back, and no help. It's just we're taking your guns and you're off where you are.
Well, I
agree completely, Jared.
I agree, but why don't you? A 12 gauge with birdshot. You're not going to penetrate any walls. And I'm telling you, if you ever get shot in the face or back or ass with birdshot, I'm sure you're not going to continue on with your home invasion.
My problem with having an AR, I always keep my 9mm loaded at night. It's my home defense gun, and I won't do it with an AR because I don't want to kill the neighbors. Like if I accidentally kill a neighbor, that's on me. Even if I'm shooting somebody in my house and I kill my neighbor. That's on me.
For home defense, a shotgun, hands down, best home defense. If you have someone break into your house and they're sneaking up your stairs and they hear you rack a fucking round into a shotgun, I am telling you right now, they are going to think twice about continuing up them fucking stairs. I promise.
I mean, the first gun I ever had, my first gun was a 12 gauge. Exactly. And that was hear this. Yeah, no one's coming in.
I just pooped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I don't like it just because it's hard to maneuver with, hard to move with. It's a big gun. I like my 9mm, so that's what I use. But back to the point, an AR, whether you have 223 or 556, you're shooting through the walls. You're gonna kill somebody. You're gonna kill your neighbor in an accident, and then you're going to prison. If you're shooting a bad guy in your house, you're justified to kill that guy, but you kill your neighbor too, you're going to prison. You're responsible for every round that leaves your gun.
And how do you tell his wife or his son or daughter, like, hey, really sorry I killed you, killed your dad. I was trying to kill a home intruder.
Yeah.
But I got him. It's like, okay. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't get behind the AR as a home defense gun.
No, I look at an AR
is because you want to kill somebody.
If everything else is, gone to shit and you're trying to fight your way through 30 people, yeah. But as far as if someone breaks into your house, no, I don't think an AR is going to do it. I mean,
I think a blunderbuss. That's the way to go. Just dump your silverware down the barrel and just shoot that bitch.
Get the forks, get the fucking forks.
I'm telling you, they hear you dumping your silverware drawer into a barrel, and they're gonna run their ass off.
Just know what's coming, motherfucker.
I'm telling you.
This one's loaded with salad forks.
I got a box of nails. I'm dumping down the barrel. No, but anyway,
I mean,
yeah. The AR thing for sport, absolutely. I enjoy the feel of that weapon system because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But for any other reason but sport, I just can't see it. Unless it's
not home defense. I don't see it for home defense.
I mean, see it for hunting either. There's better weapon systems for hunting than an AR.
Yeah,
sorry,
probably.
There's just better weapon systems. If that's your go-to, it's just because you like shooting an AR, and hey, good for you. I like shooting them too, but I'm saying you can go a different route.
So, what do you think about red flag laws, man? What's your opinion on those things?
You're talking about like if you're a criminal, or if you were a criminal, or anything like that, or if you have mental health issues, or
your family, or they can go to court and petition you to lose your guns.
Yeah, it's again slippery slope, right? Because you open the door and you might break the dam. So the idea is that your wife should know you better than anybody, and if you're fucking jerking it while thinking about killing Biden, maybe you shouldn't have guns.
Fuck.
Just saying.
No, Paul, it's not.
No, in fact, I'm a little upset that you didn't put it to your Roomba.
Oh shit!
The Claymore on a Roomba is way more effective.
He did, but he lost 7 dogs already. He can't lose any more dogs.
Sparkles, no.
And the cat to the 3rd floor.
No, but red flag laws I think are important because the police can't police everybody, right?
Yeah.
So when you got somebody who might know you better might know what you do behind closed doors, your wife, your kids, uncle, dad, whatever, and they're like, hey, this guy he's losing it, he needs to lose his guns, and I can't be the one who does it. I get the idea. So
I mean, I get behind it a little bit, but I think there has to be things that happen. There has to be a dedicated court, number one. It can't just be the fucking 56th district court in whatever city you live in that's responsible for it. There has to be a court that just does that.
Well, that's the defund the police thing, right? That's the whole, we want the police to police and not to have to worry about doing that as well. That kind of falls into that situation.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, everyone. I said defund the police. Don't crucify.
You son of a bitch. You fucking lefty liberal fuck. No, but for real, there should be a dedicated court for it because you're talking about taking someone's rights away.
Right.
And then after that, there has to be a mechanism that puts them into, mental health screenings and mental health care immediately. I think if we're going to go to the point of taking someone's, rights away from them because, someone's worried about what they may or may not do to someone or themselves or somebody else, then we should have, a way to get them help and to prevent, because if they're crazy enough, they're going to stab people with knives too. You're not going to take everything. You take your knives, will stab someone with a pencil. There's an underlying issue that you need to address. You can't just take their guns and say you're good.
So agree, Hannah. I agree with what you're saying here. The problem is not everyone is educated on everything, right? So, I couldn't possibly do Mike's job. There's no possible way because I'm just not educated on that. Doesn't mean that, I think it's wrong. As far as I think an AR should only be used for sport. I think if you have an AR, and you're wandering around, for home defense or whatever, hunting, I think that's a problem. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but
I mean, that's, people are 50-50 on it. A lot of people have bought ARs since Biden got elected because they're worried about them getting taken away.
Well, the minute there's any kind of Democrat or any not Charlton Heston-esque fucking Republican in office, then it's like, oh my God, they're coming for our guns.
Yeah.
No one's coming for your guns.
I mean, you still can't buy ammo. People are still freaking out about it.
Well, that's a different story altogether. That was from the quarantine, the ammo thing.
Well, it's still every time anyone talks about guns, they run on ammo. But
yeah,
I mean,
the ammo thing is fun. It's funny because I got a buddy who just bought a 9mm, and he's like, I can't even go to the range. I can't afford. It's like $50 a box. I can't even go and play with my new toy. He's like, I just can't even do it. And I'm like, yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, I used to be able to go to the range, and if I bought ammo before I went, I'd spend $25-$30 on 100 rounds, and then I'd spend $15 for the lane time.
Yeah.
You go and they spend $40-$50, whatever, have a good time. But now, dude, it's so expensive. It's so fucking expensive.
Kate and I went to the range a couple months back, and we basically, I think we spent like $150 on a couple of boxes of 9mm, and and they waived the range time because we're military, and they're just like, the range for the lane fees, and they're like, here, you just got to buy, or bring your own, either buy ammo, bring your own. Like, well, we don't have ammo, so we just buy some. It's like, holy fuck, like $150 for, and we were like, man, we got to make this last. Like this.
We got the range for 15 more minutes. We got 9 bullets left. Shit.
Yeah.
Listen, spin 4 times and then shoot.
The guys next to us, they're talking to their spouses or whatever, and I'm trying to like reach over and steal their bullets. Like, oh, those are mine now.
That's weird. No, I mean, you can do that, but I think it just complicates the issue, Ray.
Well, you're talking about criminals here, right?
No, I think we're talking about criminals.
What do you want to?
Why would you lose your right to vote? She hit me with a spatula when I was a teenager, so that's why she keeps asking about spatulas.
Oh, I was second or third time someone's asked you about a spatula.
I know, it's the same person. Don't worry.
What?
Well, I understand that, Jared. I mean, that's why we have the Second Amendment, just for that reason. And I'm not against owning ARs at all. I'm not against owning any guns.
Who do you think's going to do it? Who do you think? Just give me who you think.
Who's coming at us? Kamala.
Well, lots of civilizations have fallen throughout history. Who's going to? So I'm assuming you're thinking the American civilization is going to fall, or are you talking about all human civilization? Like, who are you talking about? Because it's just saying that is you can't just say broad strokes like that. It's like, well, at one time, humans were fighting saber-tooth tigers, and I want to have a gun just in case.
So I think it's the Canadians are coming for us, honestly.
And they're fucking gooses.
Terrence and Phillip, motherfuckers.
No, fuck, that'd be goose. They'd be on the back of gooses and meat.
Hannah makes a good point, though. I was going to say the same thing. The price of ammo is so high, it keeps people from going to and practicing. But it is what it is. They're going to tax it more. So there's going to be more restrictions, more issues with it.
I don't know. I'm sure taxing it has something to do with it, but I think it's a supply and demand issue right now.
Well, Remington, they went bankrupt. They're one of their plants, one of the major ammo plants went bankrupt, and they're just getting back online. It's been almost a year. So ammo should come back. So anyone that's worried, they should come back.
Yeah, I get the idea, but yeah, I don't. This is not going to be a forever problem.
Yeah,
like and ammo being scarce. It's just not. It's not a forever problem. Like that's just it's a temporary issue.
What's going to be a forever problem is everyone that panic buys. I mean, it's the same thing. People just keep doing it. It's ammo, toilet paper, fucking whatever. If we can get people to stop panicking,
there's a global pandemic, so I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to shoot some virus.
I swear to God, if that coronavirus comes near me, I'm going to shoot it in the face. No. Okay, whatever. We're kind of getting off chat. We can talk all day long.
Something you brought up earlier, you said your dad bought kits to build guns.
Yeah, long time.
That's actually something that Biden brought up, ghost guns, buying a kit. Ago. Yeah, buying a kit. It's not serialized, so you have a gun that's not traceable. Probably. That's something they're trying to stop. So what do you think about that?
Probably even longer. I want to say maybe 60 years ago. he probably bought a kit gun.
Nice.
I would say it's been quite a long time, but
you can still buy them today.
yeah, no, I'm talking about those particular ones where you're like, you just send in, $3 and a self-stamped envelope, and they send you back a box of gun parts. Like, yeah. Oh no, I knew it. Well, just use a gun.
Yeah.
Can't have ammo in it anyway. There's no bullets.
There you go.
Anyway, that was disrespectful. I'm sorry. As far as the no serial number kit guns go, first off, there's no reason to have to buy a gun in the mail. You can literally go down to almost anywhere and buy a gun. Like literally anywhere. It doesn't matter what state you're in. Like you can literally go to any pawn shop and buy a gun.
If you get a clean background check, you're in and out in 15 minutes.
Hell with background check. You can go down to like a gun show and just get one. Like right now.
I've never done it, but I mean, I imagine you can.
You absolutely can. Like it's now. Don't imagine. Let me be here to tell you.
Well, I guess it's a private sale. They're not licensed dealers. You have to get to it's a loophole, whatever. It should be closed.
Loophole, whatever. It's a big ass fucking loophole.
Hey, you missed the second part of the sentence. It should be closed. They shouldn't be able to do that. I think every single gun purchase should be background checked.
Agreed.
And I'm a gun owner. I carry guns. I don't care. It should be checked. I don't want someone that shouldn't have a gun having a gun because it just puts me in danger and my family in danger.
Christy brings up that's a good point. Maybe only having specific places to buy guns. That's an interesting thought.
Like the liquor store,
like a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh shit!
No, that's an interesting point. Which I would support. Right? Can I use my Hilton points?
No, not Hilton points.
yeah, no, you can. At my store,
only La Quinta points.
La Quinta. No, but probably the problem is buying a gun everywhere. No, it could be part of the problem for sure. But if there was licensed state-owned places where you could buy guns and that's it, then maybe it would slow down the bleeding of guns into the criminal underworld, right? That's the issue. We're not talking about the good guy with a gun. We're talking about the kid who had a gun from somewhere and got shot by the police.
Yeah.
Or the guy who went to Vegas, broke out a window with multiple magazines shooting into a crowd at a country music,
And we can make the argument, why do I have to be restricted or why are my rights getting restricted because of this one guy or these bad people? But that's just the way it fucking is, man. And, if we stop arguing or stop fucking going extreme on both sides, maybe we'll find something that works in the middle, but we're not going to. But we're going to keep doing the same stupid bullshit we're doing now. It's just
you fucking hit the nail square on the head just now. Like that's exactly what I was trying to say earlier. Is that it's either I'm gonna have all of the guns I want, and fuck you, and it's like okay, or no guns, period.
Yeah, fuck you,
or fuck you. It's like there's got to be somewhere in the middle. If a licensed, registered, government-owned shop is the only place to buy guns, then I'm down with it. See, I'm the good guy with a gun, and I don't have a problem with showing my ID and getting a background check to get a gun.
When you say government-owned, that kind of bothers me. I don't think I'll subscribe to that stuff. But having a place to buy guns that's not government-owned, because the government sucks at everything they do. That's why.
Okay. Well, then who do you want?
I don't trust any of these motherfuckers. So
you want Cletus down at the pawning yawn to sell you a acquired AR, or do you want Sergeant Bosco to sell you a gun? I'd rather have Sergeant Bosco.
What I'm saying is I'd like to see if it's going to go that way where it's only a specific place that we could buy a gun. Why not just have it be X amount of gun shops licenses per the population? So if we're talking about Rhode Island, their population, they get 12 for the state, and that's how many licenses you pass out. That's where you could buy guns. Maybe not.
You would have a gun shop, and they would literally leave the union.
Hey, that's what it is.
Ray, that's funny.
But yeah, I don't want the government to run it, but I would like to have it be, restricted. Definitely. I don't, the gun show thing, number one, it's an argument. So it's something that if the right wants to stop having these gun control arguments, let's stop having gun shows they could buy guns at. Why don't we just get rid of it? It's not a big deal.
Cannot infringe on my constitutional right to buy a gun from Cletus. Sorry.
But I mean, I buy my guns from like Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops or something, that big place. They always do a background check. Why? Let's get rid of gun shows. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Well, then what am I supposed to do with these?
Put them back. They're doing shit for nobody, man. We're losing viewers. Don't flex anymore.
Put them away. Oh shit. Let me read this from Hannah here. She writes books. Oh, okay.
The whole face is gone. Holy shit.
Know. Hello. I feel like Wilson from Home Improvement.
They're getting guns for someone that's got the hookup. Won't matter. Yeah, I mean, but I think, Hannah, if you can control, where the guns are coming from a little bit better and not having all these other options. I even think if it's a private sale, I think the buyer should be paying for a background check. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, this is the part that really that rubs me the wrong way, right? The criminals will still find a way. That's with everything.
Yeah.
My entire 20s, I drove without a license. I was a criminal. I drove without a license. But you know what I mean? It's like there's always going to be a way. So even just commenting and be like, oh, we got to keep the guns, whatever. It's just there's just no way. Criminals will always find a way. So it's just not even. Let's just take that out, because that leads down the slope of everyone should have a gun because criminals are going to have a gun.
Yep.
Well, it's just.
Well, that leads down the slope to if someone has a gun, then they're not going to shoot somebody with a gun. That's the same argument. I mean,
it's great. That's a great. Yes, I agree. That's absolutely. Regardless, you got to take criminals out of it because it's not an element that you can quantify. Because
I'm not. The criminals are going to have guns. Let's get this out there. Let's go ahead and just. Criminals are going to have guns regardless of what gun laws you enact.
No matter what you fucking do. If Biden personally comes to every American's house and takes your guns, the criminals are going to have guns. If Biden comes to your house and gives you a gun, the criminals are still going to have guns. So it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. So
Jared, you're right. There is licensed dealers at gun shows, but there's also unlicensed dealers at gun shows. So you're right. There is guys that do the right thing and guys that don't. So
not just that, flea markets. Man, when I was a kid, my dad, my uncle, and my mom and stuff, we would go around to flea markets or garage sales and buy people's guns.
Yeah,
they're not licensed dealers. That's just the Joneses. They just have free guns. Or their grandpappy died and they're selling their hunting rifles. It's not.
I mean, but my idea is you're not going to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. They're going to find a way, just like they're going to find a way to rob a bank or find a way to rob a liquor store, or find a way to do whatever they're going to do, because that's what criminals do.
Yeah, we can't.
I'm more worried about keeping guns out of the hands, people that we know are criminals, that we don't want them to go to the store and buy one. We want to make it harder at least. And, my big concern is people who are breaking. I don't want someone to be able to go buy a gun and then go shoot up a fucking concert. Yeah, people raffle guns on Facebook. That's very true.
You're absolutely right. I just bought 2 raffle tickets for a gun on Facebook 3 days ago. You're absolutely right. It's for a good cause, by the way. It's for a good cause. I didn't just.
But I mean, the idea that you can't put these gun laws in place without addressing the underlying issue, and the underlying issue is the mental health issue. And you can't just say you can't have a gun without offering a way to help somebody. Even if you fail your background check because you're like, hey, this came up, you were suicidal, last Thursday, and you went to the doctor and you were held, so you can't buy a gun today. Well, let's give them a way to be treated or be helped. I think this is the only way to do it. You have to address both at the same time.
What if, let me ask you this. What if you treated it like a driver's license?
What do you mean?
So you turn 18, you're allowed to, let's just say 18, right? Like I don't have an age group or an age yet, but let's say you turn 18, you're allowed to own a firearm. Not something crazy, not like a 100-round drum AR. I'm just saying, like, you can own a Glock. So you can own a Glock, right? You have to go down, you have to learn how to use it, go to classes. You have to go to the state, to the DMV or the Secretary of State or whatever it is, whatever state you're in. Take a test, take a firearms test, like a road test, go into the range, have a certain amount of hours.
If it's a street test, we hold them sideways.
Yeah, street test. Can you hear me now? No, but you do that. And then every 4 years, your license expires and you have to go down and get a test, take a test again for, just a retake. Not, you have to go through hundreds of hours or anything like that, but just a retake where you're like, okay, I understand gun laws. I understand how to operate a pistol or rifle or whatever. And now I'm licensed on my driver's license to own a firearm.
That's kind of what I have right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like every 4 years or every 2 years, you have to go back and retest.
Qualify. I think, yeah, exactly. Retest written and, in the range.
And if you're caught with a rifle or something, or a hunting, even hunting without an actual firearms license, not a concealed carry or anything, without a firearms license, then it's the same as driving without a license.
Well, I might be wrong, but I think Illinois has a license to purchase. So you have to get a permit to buy a gun. I think it kind of goes along with what you're saying. I agree. I think you need to go through and prove, number one, that you can, you should have a gun based on your history. So if you're a criminal, this or that should be the first check. But you should also, before you can carry a gun, prove that you can shoot the motherfucker without, killing your neighbor on accident.
That red flag
minimum
is an issue, though, for me, because like you got a kid who had a fucking 8th and went to jail, because let's be honest, our prison system is a little slanted, right? So he goes to jail and then he gets out of jail. He has a criminal history and now he can't own a pistol because he got caught with a bag of weed.
I mean, that you're getting into, criminal justice reform, and no one should be in prison for a bag of weed. Let's be real. But I mean, if you're a violent criminal, it's something Biden brought up. He said, I want to reenact the act, which he tried to say violence against women, but he didn't say it very well. But anyway, I mean, that's pretty much where, if your family member has domestic violence, if your brother beats the shit out of you or beats the shit out of his wife, he can't own a gun. I agree with that completely. I mean, if you've shown that you shouldn't fucking have one, you shouldn't fucking have one. And if you're a violent felon, you shouldn't have a gun. If you passed a bad check and got arrested, okay, we're not talking about taking your gun away. But if you're a violent felon or if you had domestic abuse.
What about a bar fight that goes awry? You slug a guy, cracks his skull in the bar on accident, you go to jail for manslaughter, and now you're out of prison and they take all your guns.
I mean, there's a level of decision making that goes into getting into a bar fight. I've never been in a bar fight. I don't fight with people in bars.
Well, that's what I think is. That's where I think the government needs to step in. That's why I think there has to be a one entity, whatever, Bureau 46. I don't know, that covers everything. That they are not the tobacco and firearms. I'm talking about like there has to be a gun control. Oh God, I'm now about to get absolutely fire bombed.
Oh,
but there has to be an Overwatch system in play, I think.
I did, exactly. We're talking about the Nicolas Cage movie where he fucking hit the guy and broke his nose and went to Con Air. Great movie.
Con Air. What a fucking masterpiece.
That was a really good movie. That was Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage.
That wasn't Memphis. Was that? No, Memphis Reigns was.
That was Gone in 60 Seconds.
Who was he in Con Air? He was another crazy name like Memphis Reigns. It was another crazy one.
Oh, man. It was...
Come on, kids at home. Who was it?
Fuck, what was his name? But...
Oh, hey, look, there is reports of shootings near Spokane Way here in my city right now.
Good. That happens. It's no big deal anymore. It's just like, it's Tuesday.
Oh, dude. Oh, absolutely breathtaking, Ray. It was breathtaking. I hope one day.
What was his fucking name?
And
Cameron Poe. His name was Cameron Poe.
Cameron Poe. I told you it was a crazy name like that. Cameron Poe.
What? I beat you, Justin.
Oh man, Cameron Poe. Anyway,
No, but I mean, if you're going to have a government entity that's running, the guns and who's selling guns and being in control of it, you have to finally convince people that there's no way that you're anonymous anymore. You're not. I mean, traceability is what people's problem. I don't want the government to know what I have. Well, they know anyway.
yeah, I
you
hate
have
to tell you this. All you guys at home, they're like, oh, I don't want the government, knowing stuff about me. They know everything about you already, and you ain't that interesting. No one cares about you. Look to your left and look to your right. No one cares about you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not to be rude. Sorry. The government, if they cared about you, you'd already be dead or in some black site somewhere. You're whatever. They don't care.
Jared, you make a good point, and this is the problem that people have with gun control laws is once you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. Everyone's worried that once you say, okay, you can restrict this, they're going to keep on restricting to the point where you don't have them anymore. But the alternative to, restricting people from getting guns is to let's let everybody have any gun they want to at any time. So, we can play the what if game and what if they do this and what if they do this. And you can apply that to any fucking law or anything anyone's trying to do. And you just keep having this argument back and forth. If we stop playing the fucking what if game and figure out, okay, these 9 types of people shouldn't have a fucking gun, period. These 4 types of people are iffy. Let's get a court involved and see where they're at, and let's get them some treatment, and let's see what's actually going on in their fucking head. Let's take the guns away right now, and for the next 30 days, let's have them evaluated and see, if they are in fact fucking crazy or if it's revenge. If they turn out to be revenge, let's get their fucking guns back, obviously. But we just can't. It's the same way we're doing it now. It doesn't work. It's clear it doesn't fucking work.
Well, that's why I agree. I absolutely agree with you, and I think that piggybacking it on the driver's license model is a smart move. You're talking about Jared, you got a driver's license. Without a driver's license, you can't drive a car. Will you still drive a car? Sure. You're a criminal. Will people who don't have a gun license have a gun? Sure. They're criminals. And they're subject to the laws and regulations of their state.
Honestly, when we first started this conversation, like way the fuck back when tonight, like the first thing that got said was, I think Ray said it was like harsher fucking punishments for gun violations. And God damn it, dude, if you sell a gun to somebody illegally and they kill somebody with that gun,
no, you should go to jail.
On the hook for fucking murder.
Absolutely.
I mean, these things it has to be, if you want to have gun control, that's fine, but you need to make the punishments for fucking up worse, a lot harsher. If you give somebody an AR that shouldn't have an AR and they go and shoot people, then, you should be on the hook for every death.
This is that argument that we were having a couple weeks back with what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. With our last guest we just had on, where he was like, why is it so hard for people just to think about put other people first, right? Yeah. Yes, I'm very sorry that gun control restrictions might affect you, but it might also help other people. So are you so selfish that you're like, I need to have my twin, whatever. I either have to have my AR or or nothing. I don't care about my neighbor. I don't care if whatever. I just, I'm sorry. I'd rather be a little more restricted, and maybe hopefully I will help somebody's child from not dying.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, it's no secret, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to help them somehow. I don't
Jeremy, that's not what I'm saying. Listen, if the buyer passes the background checks and then, he bought that gun legally and he goes and kills people, that's not on the seller. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you sell somebody a gun illegally and they use that gun to kill somebody, you should be on the hook for it. I'm not saying that, you shouldn't be accountable. Gun manufacturers shouldn't be accountable. Gun dealers shouldn't be accountable. Yeah, I saw that too. Listen, Trump was not pro Second Amendment very much.
That makes me want to puke in my mouth.
Oh, he wasn't even that pro Second Amendment.
No, he didn't give a shit.
No,
Trump did not care about your guns. Yeah. he didn't want them. He didn't want you to have them. He doesn't care at all. Sorry.
But I mean, even the same thing, if Jared had mentioned earlier, you instantly turn millions of people into criminals. I don't think it'll be that way because there's gonna be grandfather laws. Like if you have these already, you're gonna be okay, but you can't buy them anymore. That's usually what they do. Yeah, obviously, if I'm a criminal for having a 30-round magazine, then I'm not going to support that law. But
no, it's the same thing that there's a workaround. Just it's the what's the fucking word I'm thinking of? The bump stock loophole, right? I can't have a automatic rifle, weapon. So I will create a workaround that allows me to have a automatic rifle. You know what I mean? So yeah, so 30-round magazines are illegal, so I'll have a 29-round one.
Yeah,
and have one in the chamber.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Jared brings up the very basic mental health check. I don't think there should be a mental health check before you buy it. It's just hard because that's a hard one to do. I think that that's the place for red flag laws. That's the place for family to intervene, the court to intervene. But I don't think I should go to a doctor to decide whether or not I should have a gun. I don't agree with that.
A standard background check for all sales, even private sales, be required to go through the local FFA. But if the mental health check bans me from ownership because I yell at other drivers from inside my car type crap, hell no.
I think that's excessive.
There's a difference between mental health issues and mad that Joe cut you off. There's a difference. You're broad stroking severe depression and suicidal tendencies, and you being mad at someone's blinker for being on. It's a huge difference.
Well, I mean, that's my issue with the mental health check before you buy a gun, because it's subjective. One doctor or one therapist might think one thing and another might think another.
No, that's why you have a government run or a state run, just like a driver's license.
But I think there should be a record. I think if you've gone to see a doctor for, depression issues or suicidal issues, that should be flagged, and there should be a way to correct it or remedy it. If you can't buy a gun because of that, there should be a way to whether you can either prove you're not going to go crazy or, prove yourself you are going to. There should be a mechanism there to have an evaluation after that. If you get denied a gun, I think you should still have a chance to go to a doctor and see it. Because what if you were depressed because, your dog died and you went to the doctor and you can't have a gun for the rest of your life because your dog died, 30 years ago?
Maybe right after your dog dying, you shouldn't be going and applying for a gun.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you went to a doctor. You were depressed, so you went and saw a therapist because the little fucking Bow Wow died. And I don't want that to restrict you from having a gun.
Bow Wow died, I'd be just destroyed. I don't know if I wouldn't want to carry on with life anyway.
Listen, I can't say addiction or alcohol or drugs. I can't say what would be a reason to deny it. That's way above my head. But I mean, because there's different types of addiction. There's alcohol addiction where you're a normal person. There's alcohol addiction where you're a fucking creep. So, here we go. What's this? Well, that goes back to the fucking political argument. Everything's fucking political. So that is a consideration.
Standard across the board test. No liberal doctor, conservative doctor, blah, 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 blah. You go to the fucking DMV. You take a test. You go to the range. You shoot some rounds. You prove you're not going to shoot yourself or anyone else because you know what the fuck a gun is. You get a license to carry or to own a firearm. All this craziness, it's like, it's the same thing with driver's license. You have to do all the same shit. It's the same shit.
I mean, the process I went through, I didn't go through any process to buy a gun. So I went to the store and
buy them anywhere now.
But the process to carry a gun is very similar to what you're talking about. I had to go through a class, I had to qualify in the range. I had to do different shooting drills.
You watched 35 seconds of the video I shared last week, and anyone can go and get a concealed carry, literally. Anyone. So what I'm saying is that system is broken.
Well, I think the 35 seconds of the video I watched last week is just because of the good guy with the gun argument, because that drives me fucking crazy. There's no stupider argument than if there was a good guy with a gun here, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I couldn't
Or
agree.
if there was more good guys with guns, there'd be less shootings. That is the dumbest fucking argument I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sorry. If you disagree with me, then you're watching the wrong show. I don't care. I mean, there's just no reason that, listen, if there's a mass shooting, if I'm at the grocery store with my wife and my kids and someone comes in there and starts shooting, I'm not pulling my gun and shooting him. We are getting the fuck out of there. And if
But you're a good guy.
if I don't have any other choice, then yeah, obviously. But if I can get the fuck out, I'm getting the fuck out. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and have a fucking shootout. Like, that's the idea of that is fucking asinine. And then if you're at a liquor store and there's someone robs a liquor store while you're there, and you pull your gun out and he shoots the clerk, they're gonna look at you to like maybe you motivated him to kill somebody else.
Ray, I'm gonna kick you in the taint. I swear to fucking God.
What's it say?
It's fucking COVID passport.
Yes.
I'm gonna toe kick you square in the butthole. Swear to God.
And listen, Jeremy is exactly right. The hero complex gets you killed and it gets other people killed.
Well,
So
to
listen,
me,
I appreciate you posting the video, but I can't get much farther than if there's more good guys with guns, click off. That's just
okay. So that was the argument. He was arguing what you're saying. He's like, "There's no such thing as a good guy with a gun." Well, that's what he was trying to. Go back and watch the video. It's comedy. It's designed as whatever. But do me a favor and go back and watch the video. And what he does show is real life police training in a school, in an abandoned school, with simulator paintball rounds, not paintballs, like simulator rounds, which fucking hurt. And he's a good guy with a gun, and he's trying to stop a school shooting with children there, and the police are coming in. And what he ends up doing is he kills a kid, and then he gets shot by the police for not identifying himself as not the shooter.
Yeah, I mean,
that's exactly what would happen 9 times out of 10. If you were a good guy with a gun, the police are going to shoot you.
Jared, we keep picking on you tonight, man. I'm sorry we're picking on you.
I know. I'm not sorry at all. I love it.
But listen, it happened, and listen, I was so happy when I saw it. The guy got up and shot the guy who walked in to kill people. Yeah. But that's not a normal thing.
So out of the 2,600 shootings in the last 2 years, one worked.
I'm not saying that there's not good guys with guns. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of guys that will, give their life up to shoot and kill and save other people. I think it's reckless to give people the idea that as soon as they get a gun and carry a gun, then they're going to be that good guy. They're going to be that guy that's going to save everybody if something happens. I think that's fucking irresponsible. Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel. Exactly.
I hate you, Ray.
I'm trying to get him to come on here, man. He doesn't want to. He's afraid of his hands. He's like, what do I do with my hands? Yeah, exactly. You just let him flow.
Let's see here. Let's see what Paul has to say here. Riddle me this.
Oh man. So listen.
That's a conversation for another week.
Yeah, because it's really political, man. It's like that's your idea of voter ID depends on who you vote for. Honestly, that's pretty much it. That's nothing really to do about that. But yeah, we'll talk about that in like 3 or 4 months when no one else cares about it.
Mike and I are on very different ends of the spectrum with our political beliefs, and we both agree on that same exact thing. Like it all depends on who you're voting for, is how strongly you feel about voter ID.
Voter ID laws, yeah.
Yeah. Spirit fingers. Screw you, Christy.
Jared, listen, I'm pro-gun. I'm 100% pro-gun.
I'm pro-gun.
And I believe that there's a lot of crimes that are stopped by having guns. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about stopping people who shouldn't fucking have them from having them in the first place. I think
we're not stopping them, just slowing it down.
Yeah.
We discussed the fact that criminals are going to have guns.
No matter what laws you put in place.
Yeah.
Criminals are not.
So how do we slow that down? How do we slow it down? I mean,
I think Ray's first point, like I said, make the punishments a lot harsher. If you illegally sell a gun, years. One gun, years.
Cut your reproductive organs out.
Yeah. Listen, your first offense, we cut the left nut. Second offense, the right nut, and we sew that motherfucker back together.
Or titty if you're a woman. Sorry.
Yeah, we're taking your nipple.
Just the nipple. And we're gonna replace it with this is for the thing I did.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a sticker.
A little tattoo.
A little sticker.
A sticker they gotta put on every day. A new sticker for every day.
Hannah now has to tattoo nipples for the rest of her life.
God, that sounds so fucking painful. I'm going to see her on Tuesday. A nipple tattoo just sounds way too bad. I can't do it. Yes, if you buy a gun for someone who's not supposed to have one, that's a problem too. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we're getting around, and the punishment should be harsher. I mean, there's the only way to make it stop is to make the punishment unbearable.
So, do you think that 13-year-old kid should have, if he didn't get shot and killed, do you think he should have gone to juvie, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the juvenile thing's different because, once you're 18, you're not juvenile anymore, and they could just let you out. But I mean, I think if we're sending kids to juvie, which, there's a place for it, obviously there's places that criminal kids have to go. But if you're sending kids to juvie, it shouldn't be like a prison. It should be, oh my God, replace a nipple. God damn, Christy, you just derailed the whole thing. I had a good point going. And now all I can think about is a nipple dick.
I'm telling you, if you do that, Christy, I want to see him. I can tell your boyfriend I said that. I don't care.
But I mean, juvie, especially more than anything else, we should be, trying to rehabilitate and educate and make it different. So yeah, I think if you're a 13-year-old kid that, is running around shooting guns off, you definitely have a place you should be going to.
No, that's just not accurate, Jared. I'm sorry. That's not an accurate statement.
Listen, I carry, and my license has a list of places I can't go. You can't go to schools. You can't go to a church. You can't go to a entertainment venue that holds more than 2,000 people. You can't go to a medical facility with a gun.
But how am I supposed to shoot coronavirus if I can't go to the hospital with my gun?
But I mean, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. People are disarmed at these places, and he's right. There's shootings at hospitals. There's shootings at, schools. There's this and that. But to say that if you could carry a gun there, those shootings wouldn't happen, I think is ignorant too. I mean, I don't know arming teachers going to help because it's one teacher in one room. She might help one room, but the overall issue is, the crazy people who are going to shoot up a school shouldn't have access to guns.
Well, I think, and that's the only real answer that could work is finding a way to slow down people from having guns, not take away guns for sure, but we also can't put armed guards everywhere.
Yeah.
What do you look for at
listen,
church? Why do you go to church?
I've been, at the store to buy a gun with somebody whose background check, it took a day or two to come back. Like mine takes about 5 minutes. I have nothing on my background. It takes about 5 minutes. But I've been with someone who's, a name mix up or a misspelling, whatever, took a day or two, and it's inconvenient as hell. It's annoying. But goddamn, if you have to wait a day or two to buy a gun and it keeps someone else from getting one, I don't think that we're doing wrong by making it harder to get one. I think it should be hard. I think you should be able to prove you're not a piece of shit. And if you don't like me for it, I don't care. But you should prove you're not a piece of shit.
Absolutely important. Background check should be important for
everything. Listen, I could have a background check to live in a job. To get married, you do a background check.
Yeah, to get
married. A lot of apartments. If you rent a house, they do a background check on you. Why not to have a gun that's you could potentially kill people? Yeah, exactly, Jared. It takes longer to do the paperwork than my background check takes. There's literally nothing. And honestly, that's something that's been important in my life is keeping my background check good. I don't have. What a square. I know.
Burn. You got burned by dick nipples over there.
Good old dick nips got me.
Oh, shit.
I mean, didn't the Brady law used to be like a 15-day law to get a gun? Isn't that what it used to be back in the day?
Yeah, and that was
I think that might be excessive, but
that was the joke. It was like, but I'm mad now. I want a gun now because I'm mad.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not against a 24, 48-hour waiting period to get a gun, but right now the idea is if your background check doesn't come back in 3 days, you get a gun anyway. I think it's like 72 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure Jeremy knows.
So let me ask you, what's wrong with the 2-week waiting period?
Nothing.
I don't see anything wrong with it either.
The only thing that I can, see wrong with it is if you want to go hunting next weekend and all of a sudden you're a hunter and you don't have a rifle.
Well, I hate to say this, but maybe someone who owns a machine that can murder people, you should have at least 2 weeks of forethought in your life.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like at least you should be able to plan your life 2 weeks in advance if you're going to own a firearm.
Jeremy, the last 2 I bought were within 15 minutes. It wasn't 3 days. It was within 15 minutes. I was ringing out. But you're right. I mean, I don't see a problem with the waiting period. That eliminates the people who are buying a gun and then going out of the store and killing people. And listen, I understand it's inconvenient if you're a law-abiding citizen and you have a good background check.
But again,
but why not? It's a question.
It's a little self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just a little bit. You're not saying like, okay, well, every time you buy a gun, I got to take a tow. It's just like maybe wait a little bit. Or if you got a hunting trip coming up, make sure you buy your rifle 2 weeks beforehand.
Dude, this is such a good point. Listen. Where's it at? Boom. That's the wrong one. Listen, if there are riots and you're afraid of your life now, listen, if you want to buy a gun, you don't buy a gun when shit pops off. You buy a gun.
Absolutely not. That's like the worst time to buy a gun.
If you're a person that buys a gun because shit's getting weird, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem. You're the guy that has no idea what's going on. You have no idea how to use a gun, but you buy a gun, you buy a box of ammo, and you're ready to rock and roll if BLM knocks on your door. Fuck you.
And then you're at a stoplight and someone marches across the street with gay lives matter, and you decide to shoot them in the dick because you just went and got a gun and you're mad. So if you were afraid for your family's lives or the safety of your family, why are you waiting till the second shit pops off to go down to Walmart? You should already own a pistol. You should already have 500 hours of fucking range time in, so you know how to properly handle and maintain that firearm.
Yeah. At least aim. You should
aim.
Listen, your idea about driver's license thing, prove that you can shoot a gun before you buy one. I don't see a fucking problem with that. I really don't. Like, Katie was in a class where the guy she was with had no idea how to handle a gun, and he was a problem. Like, people were like,
"This thing loaded?"
Yeah, exactly. No, like she was telling me, people like, the instructors were involved because when I went, there was like 3 or 4 instructors that were there while we were on the range.
That guy, whack.
Whack.
His gun, whack. His firing stance, whack.
Listen, I was at Dunham's. I was looking for ammo, and there was a guy in there, and I'm like, he kept picking up boxes and putting them down. I'm like, dude, what are you looking for? And he was holding range ammo. I'm like, well, are you going to the range? He goes, no, I just bought a gun. It's for home. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, you don't even know what kind of ammo to buy, and you're a gun owner. Like, at the very least, you should have a basic knowledge of guns before you can have one. I'm sorry. And being trained like a driver's license where you've been to the range and someone can just sign off and say, hey, this guy can hold a gun. He can load a gun. He can shoot a gun, and he can unload it and put it away is important.
And I agree with you. People prove they can drive and still are horrible drivers and kill people. Absolutely. Accidents happen. Irresponsible people happens. But
there's a lot of dumb fucking people who don't get driver's licenses.
And the fact that you are at least forced to learn as opposed to just throwing some keys when you're 18 is a big difference. It takes the numbers down. I agree with you. People do still do stupid shit, but that percentage is way lower than it could be.
Well, I mean, it's a driver's license thing kind of proves this point because at 16, you can get a license, but you have to go through driver's ed. You have to show that you can drive with a parent. They got to sign off for X amount of hours, whether or not they do, whatever, fuck it. But they have to sign it and say, hey, little Jimmy can drive a fucking car. Why aren't we doing that with something like a gun? Because I'm sorry, but you can kill people with a gun just as much as you can kill people with a car. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Jeremy, to your point earlier, listen, the Michigan laws must be different than North Carolina. There's no applying for a license to purchase. If you have a clear background check, you buy a gun.
It's state by state for sure.
Yes.
And that's why I think it should be one, like a government overwatch, not state by state. Because it's the same thing. Like you can have a gun in Florida with a concealed carry license, and you can carry it in 30 states, but the other 20 you'll go to jail. It's like, so it doesn't make any sense.
For instance, if I'm driving, if I have to go to Chicago, I can carry my gun in Michigan. I can carry my gun in Indiana. But before I cross the border, I got to pull over, take my gun off, unload it, lock it, put the ammo in one part, and put the gun in the other, so I can be legal in Illinois. Yeah. Because my license to carry is not valid in Illinois. So, those things you have to know, and it's different for every state.
Now, can you imagine you had to do that with driving?
What?
Like, so you have a license in Michigan, but
different laws per state?
Yeah.
Listen, that's a fucking problem. That is a fucking problem. And it's a problem with everything in our government. Look at elections. Every state is different for their election laws. Things like if it's enshrined in the Constitution, it should be federally mandated. It shouldn't be each state has their own decision to make.
It's one of the reasons Illinois is a shithole. Yeah, it's a shithole, sure, but is it Ohio? Because that's a shithole.
Listen, I'd rather drive through Illinois than Ohio. Illinois has more shit to look at. Ohio is just really, really fucking boring.
Yeah, I'd rather do anything in Illinois over Ohio. Besides,
I hate driving through. I can go to Cedar Point all day.
Yeah,
but driving through Ohio.
Your point, though, I think Cedar Point belongs to Michigan.
Yeah, driving through Ohio is 5 to 6 hours of stabbing yourself in the eye with a pencil. It's a lot better. It sucks so fucking bad.
All right. Well, I do love the end. I'd say we ended on hating Ohio together, because
fuck Ohio.
There's nothing that can bring a country together like their mutual hate for Ohio.
Fuck Ohio. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for your comments, man. Listen, me and Dustin disagree on a lot of things, but we're able to just bullshit and laugh through it and talk about it and find a solution and find something that we agree on. So this shit where it's like one side or the other, fuck you, I'm right, fuck you, I'm left. You need to stop that shit, and fuck Ohio.
Yeah, definitely fuck Ohio. But yeah, we definitely appreciate all the comments tonight. This is a lot of fun for sure. I'm sorry about last week, but Mike's bukkake.
My dog's got a bag back.
Mike's dog, like us, has bad back.
All right. We're gonna get out of here, guys, man. Like the show, share the show. We appreciate the comments, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, help us out. Thank you, guys. Love you all.